Because when the right two things or people are mixed together, the newly created whole is worth more, or is better than the sum of its parts. Put the right two people together and they both become their very best selves. While The Lovers is highly suggestive of romantic love, it's also deeply symbolic of something much deeper, which is the love of when two right things come together. And that could be something to do with your career, something that you're passionate about, a project, or even your relationship with yourself. Hey, you're listening to Tarot Songs, a podcast mixing tarot cards with original music created by Sydney, Australia-based artist Feloka. That's me. Each episode, I go into detail over a tarot card and then I layer it with an original piece of music as its soundtrack. The music is especially created with the particular tarot card in mind, making it a very unique listening experience. For the one-card readings, I refer to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and Barbara Moore's Steampunk deck. I also refer to texts by Joan Bunning, Barbara Moore, and others. It's a pretty exciting journey. I'm really looking forward to reinterpreting the tarot with authentic, original music, and I hope you'll stay with me on the journey of exploration and imagination. I do have to give out a trigger warning, as these cards are inquisitive by nature. I reference experiences, some of my own, some are of others, that reflect trauma, PTSD, complex trauma, anxiety, depression, and other experiences, and feelings that may be uncomfortable or that may feel unsafe for you. The show notes will tell you where to skip ahead so that you can go straight to the music piece. And I will always play the music piece as a solo track towards the end of each podcast episode, so that it may hopefully help you facilitate your own readings or your own creative practice, whatever it may be. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on social media so that whenever a new episode is released, you'll be notified and you can take a listen. Let's get started on today's episode. Hey there, and thank you for joining me for episode 23 of Tarot Songs. I've picked the Lovers, one of the major Arcana cards. It's number 6 in the major Arcana, so it's actually a card that appears fairly early on because there's 22 cards, and there's a reason for that. But firstly, I just wanted to read very quickly from the original Rider-Waite-Smith publication. In 1910, William Rider wrote about the Lover's card. So the illustration of the Rider-Waite-Smith is of a man and a woman in the foreground. There's a sun that shines in the background or in the zenith, and beneath it is a great winged figure with arms extended, pouring down influences. Now the man and the woman are unveiled, so they're naked before each other, as if they are Adam and Eve when they first occupied the paradise of the earthly body. Behind the man is the tree of life, bearing 12 fruits, and behind the woman is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the serpent is twining around it. The figures suggest youth, virginity, innocence, and love before it is contaminated by material desire. This card, in all its simplicity, is about human love, shown as part of the way, the truth, and the life. And bearing in mind this was written in 1910, so it's quite a traditional sense, and there's a lot of biblical references there. What I also really like is the steampunk version, which is a lot less biblical, but also it takes us on a journey that's not just about love between two people. It's about love between you and something else, the image of a man and a woman, and they're fully clothed. A man, which represents fire and air, which are the active elements, and the woman representing water and earth, which is the passive elements. They're joining hands, and their union creates something more astonishing and powerful than they would ever be as individuals. And that's something that Barbara Moore wrote in her guide, which I tend to connect with more. She writes that because when the right two things or people are mixed together, the newly created whole is worth more, or is better than the sum of its parts. Put the right two people together and they both become their very best selves. While The Lovers is highly suggestive of romantic love, it's also deeply symbolic of something much deeper, which is the love of when two right things come together. And that could be something to do with your career, something that you're passionate about, a project, or even your relationship with yourself. The point of the Lover's card, when it presents itself in your reading, aside from the readings of potential relationships, there's an opportunity to make a choice, to commit to something that could change your life. And if it's like the old adage of saying, your heart's just not in it. And as Barbara Moore says in her guide, that if you are considering something or someone and your heart doesn't leap at the thought, you might want to move on to the next thought. Referring back to the Fool's Journey and how the Lover's card is the 6th card in this 22 card Major Arcana cycle, the Fool needs to decide upon their own beliefs, their own values, and start to question opinions of others or opinions that they've received elsewhere, and figure out if all of those things are things that he really believes in, are the things that he really values, are things that are actually going to make a difference for him for the better. And these are all decisions that he has to make for himself. The deeper meaning or the core meaning of the Lover's card to me is that, again, it's that relationship with yourself, tapping into how you really feel about a situation. If you are really aligned with yourself, you know what your beliefs are, you know what you value in life, and your actions and behaviors align with those core beliefs, then you are indeed following your heart and you're staying true to yourself. And perhaps when you come across a moral or ethical crossroad, you're much better equipped at making that decision as to what to do next. And fundamentally, it always comes down to making a choice based on your own personal beliefs and values and what is right for you, because only you know that. So the Lovers is reminding you to follow your heart. Make decisions that are aligned with your values and beliefs as much as you can.